Joining our cause was the wisest decision of your life, brother.
Well, that's a weird door. Anyway.
Heard you got a new assignment.
Yeah, research control.
Remember your 3 C's. Cranium, crotch, center mass.
Yeah, I don't know why it's all the way out here. I'm reasonably certain that this isn't where it normally is. I'm pretty... Yeah, because it's... Yeah. I'm sure it's supposed to be docked right there, if I'm being honest.
Nothing like flying in style.
Welcome aboard, Knight. Instruments are green, and we're cleared for release.
Oh, and dance like that as well, eh? Just getting on the vertibird, eh? Yeah, I'm pretty sure the rest of those vertebrates are supposed to be attached to the Prydwen as well. But anyway, on to Fort Strong, which is why we never went there when we were in this part of the map before. Farm right below us?
Target acquired. I'll try and keep him in your sights.
Kill the Super Mutant Behemoth. So yeah, these guys can also take down the vertibird while you're in it. You won't necessarily die, but obviously it will do some damage as you get into a plane crash and explode.
Primary target down. Look at that thing bleed. I'm gonna find a place to set her down and then hightail it back to the Prydwen for repairs.
Where even did they go? Oh. So yeah, he puts it down, but he won't take off again until you leave. So you can use this opportunity to, oh, there goes the vertibird. Oh. You, and that seems to be it. There we go, we've secured Fort Strong. And our vertibird lived. The other one didn't, but that's not my problem, is it? I wasn't their gunner. AutoCAT, Fusion Cell. Oh, that's what I was seeing there. But yeah, you can obviously immediately get out of the vertibird and actually go in on foot if you so choose. But obviously, you have a minigun with infinite ammo. And I'm not sure if you will actually take any damage while you're in the vertibird, or if all of the damage just gets transferred like to the vertibird itself while they're shooting at you. Obviously, it would make sense if you yourself would be taking damage, since you're not really like covered by anything while you're in the vertibird. But oh yeah, I also brought the Brotherhood of Steel holo tags with me, but I don't really remember where we turned those in. Plasma cartridge. Anything else you have useful? Speaking of Brotherhood of Steel holo tags. Gotta be at least one, right? I could also take the Brotherhood of Steel combat armor, because I mean that is technically it's the same combat armor. It has a different paint scheme on it. That's the only difference between the two. Let's see here, actually. I see. I know that we have a magazine in here, but I don't remember if there's any other useful loot. Okay, let's see. Ruined house just east of the first fork in the road and between the two roads, eh? Okay. So, I mean, this would be the first fork in the road.
This
Just
area seems
east.
to be in disarray. I wonder if this is recent.
And between the two roads. Okay, so it's got to be in this.
Being in the open like this is tactically irresponsible.
Uh-huh. Oh. Now apparently there's a charge card.
I'd just leave that.
What the hell is a charge card? I'm assuming it's under junk. It's certainly used about the same. Oh, look at that! I got a credit card.
For you.
I didn't know that was an item in this game. So there's a little bit of a unique item. I don't know how unique, but like I said, I don't remember ever seeing it before. Hoping to find, because I'm assuming that there was more than just the pilot. I think that guy the Brotherhood guy we found was a pilot. So I assume that there would be a gunner or something, but I'm not seeing one. Also, there is another thing, but we'll get that on our way out. Because there's a power armor frame that you can get, but it also has leveled power armor on it, and considering what our level is, there's a more than decent chance that it's the max, like the XO1 armor.
Quite a bit
All
of
right.
trash to pick through here. Searching through it could prove beneficial.
What? Who's there? Gonna splatter your
You
brains!
know what? It's locked, which means the mutants can't come through it either.
Time to die!
You hear that?
Hear it? I can feel it.
Over there!
Oh god, there's one behind us too. Oh, no we're not. There's one more. Ooh, he had a minigun too. Oh, also, one thing that just reminded me there. In Starfield, companions have infinite ammo. As long as they have one bullet of whatever gun you give them, they can fire forever. So, oh, speaking of technical documents, boosh, there's one. And we can just take that and sell it to the dude on the Pridwin and get a few extra caps for our troubles. Also, funny thing on, there's another. Oh, and we get a holotape.
Word came down that the Army just unloaded the first batch of the M42s this morning. I've only seen the specs for these little beauties on paper, so Private Bertram and I snuck down to take an early look. When I heard that the eggheads were designing a man-portable nuke launcher, I thought they were nuts. But they actually got the damn thing to work. And after seeing the real thing sitting right in front of me, I think they could be just enough to tip the balance of this war in our favor. I mean, can you imagine the look on the enemy's face when we get dropped into Anchorage carrying these babies? They won't know what hit them.
I mean, they might. Now the person who actually gets hit, maybe not. But the people who see them get hit from a safe distance, they'll know exactly what you hit them with. It will be very obvious. Alright. And another funny thing in Starfield is when you go to a planet, you can scan it. Like you scan it, you can survey it for the different resources that are on it, and you can scan all the animals and the plants and that are, or not all of them, but you can scan the plants and animals that are on it as well. And if you do all of it, you get survey data that you can then sell. You can sell it to any merchant, but there's one guy specifically that you can sell it to that will pay you more for it. And the funny thing about it is I went to a space station to look for ship parts. And I landed on the space station. I got survey data for the space station as soon as I landed because it was because there's technically nothing on it. It's a space station. And I was like, why? It's like, hey, here's the survey data. There's no plants, animals, or minerals or harvestable minerals on the space station. Like, I could just imagine giving that to the guy, and he's like, well, duh. It's just like, why? But yeah, very funny. Oh, to me at the time it was anyway. But anyway, playing Fallout, not Starfield. Let's see, where did my... Oh, we got an elevator too. I wonder, does the elevator go up or down? The announcement isn't working. More technical documents. Damn. I didn't realize we got so many. Although I think the technical documents, I think that depends more on location than anything else. Like some locations, I think,
Quite a bit of debris here.
have like because I think it's all just random chance. Like
No green stuff
I think it's just all RNG, and like every container has like a chance to spawn it, and then like some locations probably don't have any chance of spawning it, the containers that are in there, and then other locations such as this probably has like a higher chance.
Oh. What's that?
Your death, bitch. Oh my, there's a lot of guys there.
Come out, come
Not getting
out,
past me.
wherever you are.
I think he had a fat man.
Die now, human! No. Killed my brother! Oh.
Good lord.
Only one of us survives this.
Good lord. Like, fucking hell. Did he, by the way? Oh, no, he
Good
just
work.
had missiles. Okay.
Don't leave anything behind.
I mean, obviously still not great to be firing at me down a small hallway, but, you know, 15% less damage when blocking or sprinting. That's... Alright. I mean, if you're a melee character, obviously, that would be neat. That's a decent legendary effect. Don't know where Dance is currently going. I think because I do believe that once you completed the quest, which we technically have, I think he no longer follows you. But then, like, as soon as you complete the quest, by talking to him, you can then recruit him to follow you again. More technical documents. Damn, we're gonna have a lot to sell that guy when we go back. But I'm also gonna have to look up a bit more about where we're going after this. Bravo team testing terminal, right? Report 1. Things are getting tough around here. Brock has decided to split our men into 2 teams. I drew one of the short straws, so I ended up on the M42 Fat Man launcher team, while most of my buddies are sitting pretty upstairs with the T-51B suits. I can't even begin to describe what a ridiculous idea the M42 is. A man-portable mini-nuke thrower that a trooper in the field is supposed to deploy at close range. Been poring over the schematics and I have no idea how we're going to get this thing to throw a warhead far enough to kill the soldier unlucky enough to be struck with these death. Far enough not to kill the soldier unlucky enough to be stuck with these death traps. I mean, I'm not going to lie. It's rough. You got to fire it way further than you think sometimes. We've stripped the warhead weight down as much as possible, but I think we're looking at this the wrong way. Instead of trying to reduce the warhead weight, we should try and amp the power on the thrower itself. I know that means adding weight to an already heavy piece of ordnance, but I don't think we have any choice. One of the guys suggested we try magnetics to push the warhead through like a railgun, but the power pack would need to be the size of a suitcase. I'll keep picking away at this problem and see what I can turn out. We lost 2 good soldiers this morning. They were on the surface testing a MIRV variant of the launcher when one of the warheads misfired and hit the ground right where they were standing. Poor bastards didn't even have a chance. Couldn't even find any remains to send home to their folks, so Brock told us to just fill some cans with sand. I'll tell you, that guy doesn't give a crap about us. He's just worried about the brass back in Washington giving him a hard time. Fill some cans with sand and say, here's your loved one. Great. I was in bed last night when I had one of those eureka moments. I ran over to the night shift guys in the lab, swept all of their drawings on the floor, and started sketching my idea. They must have thought I'd lost my mind. 6 hours and about 14 cups of coffee later, and I had it all mapped out. We'd use a small subcharge as a launching catalyst to catapult the warhead from the launcher. We'd have plenty of range, and the subcharge could be built into the warhead itself. Brock seemed to like the plan and gave us the go-ahead to prototype the device. I can't wait to try it out. It took the better part of a year and over 100 test firings, but the M42 is ready to be shipped out into the field. I can't believe I spent over a year on this single project. I feel pretty good knowing we're delivering a well-tested weapon to our own guys fighting overseas. Now that it's over, I suppose Brock will move us on to something else, but for now I'm going to spend the rest of the month packing up these warheads to ship off base. So, the mini-nukes explode twice then? Like, when you launch them, it technically has a small explosion in order to get the nuke to go. It's interesting. Wonder how many people died during testing for that. I'm assuming that all of the enemies are dead because we did get the all clear. The glowing one, that's why it lived for so long. Love jet here. Weird. You don't normally find like a huge amount of drugs in like Super Mutant places. Raider places, yeah, it's fucking everywhere, but so yeah, we still have a magazine defined. And that's pretty much it out of this location. The funny thing is, though, is like this is the first mission you do as a Brotherhood. You generally will have Paladin dance with you, although you don't have to. Well, no, actually, come to think of it, even if you have another companion with you, I think dance still shows up, like still comes with you. But yeah, you have dance with you, you fly in with a vertibird and a minigun. Oh yeah, it's all the Fat Man parts. You can get some of those yourself. In fact, I do believe I have some of those myself. Anyway, and you fly with a vertibird, and that the magazine that we're gonna get out of this place, though, covert operations. Like, I guess you could argue that the covert operations manual is maybe it's like, this is how people do covert operations. You're a very high security facility. Look out for these things so that, you know, we don't get infiltrated. But, you know, it's still funny that in one of probably least covert operations you can, or that you have in this game is where one of the covert operations manuals are. Purified water in the toilet, eh? Okay. Sure.
Look at this place. You must hate these mutants as much as I do.
I'm going to quick save here because if I agree with him immediately, it does give me another bump to
They're
his thing.
responsible
But
for the death of a close friend, a Brotherhood knight named Cutler. So when you ask if I hate them, I say hate's too gentle a word. These monstrosities are just another example of man blindly taking a step forward, only to wind up stumbling 2 steps back. I've been fighting for years, trying to put a stop to this madness. And just when I thought we were getting the upper hand, along come the synths. I've seen what these super mutants do to people. Can you imagine what the synths would do to us if they ever got the upper hand? It would be Armageddon repeated, and maybe the end of everything that we hold dear. Look, I don't mean to bore.
alright. Also, if you've had, if you don't do this quest right away and you just run around with Paladin Dance before this, you can and you raise his relationship enough, he'll actually have a conversation about that Cutler guy, and instead of a speech check there, it'll just be a comment on that story he told you.
Absolutely. Wiping them out was a pleasure.
I wish all of mankind shared your sentiment. These monstrosities are just another example
Dance
of
loved
man
that.
blindly taking a step. I've been fighting for years. I've seen what these super mutants do to. It would be Armageddon. Look,
Don't apologize. It reminds me why I'm doing this.
thank you, brother. It's good to know you're taking my advice to heart. Anyway, that's enough of that. What's important here is that you got the job done and secured these warheads. You should head back up to the Prydwen and talk to Maxon. I'm sure he'll want to debrief you as soon as possible. Dismissed.
Alright, so now Dance is no longer following us.
Being
I do
here
believe.
almost makes me feel like I'm coming. Ready to continue our mission, soldier?
But immediately we
Ready.
can
Roger
bring him
that.
back. And now, because we did get
Hey.
2 or
All
3
right.
Paladin.
love
Yeah?
that things.
Didn't have anything else.
Affirmative.
Paladin? Yeah, never mind. Alright, so now Dance is following us again, just so we don't have to look for him and pick him up again later. It is weird that, he stops following you just to be able to immediately have him follow you again.
Call me old-fashioned.
Now, I do believe that once we turn in the quest, go speak to Maxon, I think we'll actually get another Dance Love That from it. Like I said, doing the Brotherhood quest with Dance, it's fairly easy to rank up his whatchamacallit there. His relationship with you. I mean, I don't remember what perk he gives you. I think it has something to do maybe with fusion cells or laser weapons or something.
Nice.
Heard of breaching a door. This is a lot quieter.
Yeah, well, you know what? If I had a way to breach a door, I might. But unfortunately, that's not really a thing that I have. Fort Strong Key, sure. Ah, there's our covert
Nice.
operations manual. More difficult to detect while sneaking. I don't know how many of these there are, but we got to be getting close to getting all of them, right? Those specific ones. I know that we're in the overall scheme of magazines, we are close to getting all of them, right? Alright, June report. As of today, command of Fort Strong is passed to me. I am looking forward to helping the U.S. Army test some of its experimental weapon systems at our facility. I've already had the men preparing the island for testing operations by tearing down the old barracks and constructing a simulated town. Since we'll be fighting the enemy on an urban front, I think the best way to test these weapons is by seeing how well they punch through civilian structures. September. Been testing the new batch of T-51B power armor suits that the Army Corps of Engineering just rolled off the assembly line. I'm impressed with the amount of protection they afford our soldiers, yet allow them a great deal of mobility. Notice that the soldiers are still having trouble jumping in these things. Because of the suit's weight, they often tip over on hard landings. I've had the maintenance boys look at it, and they're suggesting adding a gyroscope and shock absorbers to the lower torso. Pass it up the chain to see if I can get Washington to spend the extra money it'll cost for the modification. Things are starting to heat up overseas, so Washington is pushing us to cut our project turnaround times in half. I told them that would be dangerous, but it seems like we don't have much of a choice. I've decided to split my staff into Alpha and Bravo, so we can work on 2 projects at the same time. The manpower will be reduced, but I'm convinced that we'll still be able to maintain our new schedule. I'm going to put Alpha on the power armor and Bravo on the Batman launchers. I mean, your manpower will be less, but I mean, when you're having research projects like this, like R&D projects like this, having more people on it isn't necessarily going to benefit you, right? Like, now, I say necessarily because on an R&D project, there's going to be people who will understand and like progress it more than others. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they're better than the other people. It just means like they're better with that particular project, right? So like, but obviously the thing is you may not be able to tell who those people are going to be. So like, technically, if you have Alpha Team or Bravo Team and you split it the right way, you may get both projects done even faster because there may be somebody on Alpha Team working on the Alpha project who really understands it, really has they're really into it, whatever, right? Who can get it done faster, and somebody on Bravo Team who, if they were on Alpha Team, may understand it just enough to get in the other guy's way. But obviously that's not really something you can know beforehand, right? Alright, Alpha Team just shipped out the first batch of T-51B suits to the front in China. Reports are already coming in that the suits are performing better than expected, chewing through enemy tanks and armor like they were paper. Word has it that some of the enemy troops are even surrendering when they catch sight of the power armor troops hauling their 5mm miniguns. Looks like Alpha Team has earned themselves a weekend pass in Boston. December, Bravo Team is having a heck of a time getting the M42s not to shoot far enough away from its firing position. Not to shoot far enough away. Nah, that's definitely like a fucked up sentence. The problem is that the warhead is still too heavy to fire in the distance required. Our simulated soldiers are still soaking far too many rads and suffering blast burns. One of the technicians has suggested a radical idea of using a conventional depleting subcharge to catapult the round rapidly out of the launcher. His calculations look sound, so I'm going to let him give it a try. Hey, we read about that. After a few design setbacks and the loss of one of our testing squads, we finally perfected the M42 launcher's firing mechanism. Washington has been riding me to wrap this project up, but with a weapon this potent, I was inclined to take my time. That makes sense. We sent the launchers ahead to the supply yard in Mississippi, and we're just waiting for the go-ahead to ship the warheads wherever they need to go. Hopefully we can get those nukes out of here before the month is out. Don't feel comfortable sleeping 20 feet above enough nukes to reduce this island to ash. Yeah, I imagine that would be like, man,
This area's obviously been abandoned for quite some time.
somebody fucks up downstairs, everybody's dead. Now, can I climb up here? Because we didn't explore the second floor at all. Because I didn't know which way the elevator was going to go. I thought it might bring us up here.
Hopefully there's something useful here.
Well, I mean, more ammunition is always useful. Alright, well, that was worthless. Wow, second floor? Alright. But anyway, I don't think that we get a pickup here at all. But that's fine. We're going to head north across the bridge to see if we get a full suit of power armor. Because that would be nice. And if you're gonna say shit, you gotta get closer. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be in this little shack here. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it is. XO1 Mark V torso. You know what? I'm not even gonna bother if that's all there is. It's just the torso. That's a shame. Anyway, that's Fort Strong cleared. Let's head up to the Pridwin. It's funny because the Pridwin shows as a settlement, but you don't actually get to do anything with the Pridwin. Even if you do the entire quest line for the Brotherhood of Steel, wipe out the Institute, wipe
I
out the
heard that
railroad.
Elder Maxon got that scar
I
on
don't
his
think they
face
dick
from
around with the
going
Minutemen at all because they don't see them as a threat. But you don't get to do anything on the Prydwen, like any building or anything on the Prydwen. You can do some on the Boston airport, but it's a very small
Outstanding
area.
work at Fort Strong, soldier.
What happens at Fort Strong now?
Paladin Dance is supervising the transfer of the Fat Man warheads to the Prydwen. They'll provide quite an edge to our arsenal. I've also ordered a detachment to occupy the location, and use it as a staging area to protect the eastern side of the airport. All in all, you handed us quite a valuable location.
It was an honor fighting for the Brotherhood.
I'm glad you feel that way,
Yeah.
because our mission here has only just begun. In order to bring the Institute to its knees, we need to use every weapon at our disposal. I try to supply my soldiers with the best. That's why I'm giving you these. Signal grenades can call a vertibird to your location when you need aerial transport. Simply throw one to the ground, and the vertibird will hone in on the unique electromagnetic smoke it emits. Once you're aboard, use the map on your Pip-Boy to interface with the pilot's navigation system, so he'll be able to take you wherever you need.
Thank you, Elder. I'll make good use of them.
I expect that you will. Now, I'm sure you're aware that Fort Strong was simply the first step towards the liberation of the Commonwealth. An even greater task lies ahead. By now, I'm sure you've deduced that our arrival in the Commonwealth wasn't coincidental. We're here because of a unique energy reading recorded by Paladin Dance's recon team. According to our scribes, the reading indicated a level of technology that only the Institute could achieve. The moment this information came to light, our mission became clear. The Institute, and everyone responsible for the creation of the synths, must be eliminated at all costs. To accomplish this goal, we need to locate the Institute's headquarters. I've had our scribes meticulously searching the Commonwealth, but they've come up empty-handed.
Where do I start?
I want you to get out there and become our eyes and ears on the ground. You seem to have a vested interest in locating the Institute before we met, so I'm confident you'll travel in the right circles. If you discover a way in, I need you to report it to me immediately. Any questions, Knight?
Could those mysterious energy readings Paladin Dance's recon team detected be related to teleportation?
The level of technology that the Institute possesses is far beyond our own, so we're not certain. However, that would explain why the readings are so random and short-lived. I'll have our scribes focus on improving our scanning techniques to learn more. Anything else you wanted to ask, Knight?
Aren't there any pre-war records about the Institute that might help us?
Our records indicate that the Institute was born from the remnants of a pre-war educational facility, the Commonwealth Institute of Technology. The ruins of the facility are at the center of the city, but we've already searched them thoroughly. The location appears to have been abandoned long ago, so it appears that the trail ends there. Anything else, Knight?
Any suggestions where I should look next?
Your meeting with Dr. Amari seemed fairly telling. If the Institute has the capability to teleport its synths, then we're in for quite a fight. There must be a way to tap into the teleport signal, and your mysterious lead in the glowing sea could provide us with the answer. If you need any assistance mitigating the radiation in that godforsaken location, speak to Proctor Tegan. I'm certain he'd be willing to help.
Not right now, Elder.
Very well then. Dismissed.
Alright. So obviously they know about shit that they shouldn't. But
Hey,
Go ahead.
Dance?
Yes?
Just wanted to check in.
I don't see how this is a relevant question right now.
Nothing
All
else
right.
I needed.
Affirmative.
Alright, so yeah. We'll go turn in our technical documents to the dude. But yeah, so that's apparently as far as you can get in the Brotherhood questline right now, which is interesting. I didn't realize just how few things there were to do with them. So we could head into the glowing sea, but I think before that we'll just head down the coast and
If it was up to me, I'd take every
and just try and raise our status with Dance.
It sounds
is how
like we
get
owe you
to
our
his thing.
gratitude for wiping out those monsters at Fort Strong. Now, did you have any documents for me? Or perhaps you were interested in aiding a research patrol?
I found some technical documents for you.
Ah, good. I was beginning to run out of materials to study. Here are the caps that I promised. Remember, the Commonwealth is an almost unlimited source for these technical documents. Check every building you explore during your patrols very carefully, and you might be...
Alright. 150 caps for 6 documents. That doesn't seem like it adds up.
Cade won't clear me for duty yet. I think he's giving me orders.
But yeah. That'll be it for this part. That'll be it for this part, which is apparently 2 parts because I didn't realize just how long
We're here to save the
these
Commonwealth.
quests take. So I'm assuming that this part was all just Fort Strong. What's this terminal? It's a Master Lock terminal, I think, to get through this gate, and then you can like rob the place blind. But anyway, yeah. So next part, I guess, since that's all we can do with the Brotherhood for now. I really thought that we'd be able to do a few more quests, but I guess it makes sense because most of the Brotherhood quests that I remember all have to do with the Institute and like getting ready to attack them and everything. So yeah, next part we'll head down the western side of the map here. I guess we'll start somewhere around here. I guess. How's my inventory looking? Yeah, I might go and clear that out first. Well, nah, we'll probably be good for one more part. I'm not picking up everything, so, and I don't need any armors or anything unless we come across synths. So yeah, we'll start heading down the western side of the map. We've got a couple of large locations to go through, and yeah, that'll be it for this part. Thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you on, well, since this is 2 parts, on Friday for more.